2 losses. He's the former IBO Super Middleweight champion. Please welcome Brian Magee. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with silver. He fights out of Nottingham. He weighed in at 11 stone, 13 1/4 pounds. He is undefeated in the professional. 18 wins coming from 18 contests. 14 wins by way of knockout. He comes to the ring, the current British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight champion, presenting Nottingham's very own Carl the Cobra Froch. The referee, Mr. Richie Davis, will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Okay, fellas, you've both had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what's expected of you. Behave yourselves, do as you're told. Good luck to you both. Shake hands.
One of our leading referees,
12 3-minute rounds.
Richie Davis, for one of the domestic matchups of 2006 in the super middleweight division, made famous in Britain by Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn, Steve Collins and Joe Calzaghe. 2 of our best now of recent times clash here. It's been on, off and on again. Fight fans and critics alike have been waiting for this one. And so have you, Jim.
Yep, I'm looking forward to seeing maybe if Carl Froch, the bad habit of dropping his left hand, which you've seen in a couple of his fights against the sharp southpaw jab. Has he been working on that? Has he been thinking about it? First impressions, Magee really looks fired up, looking as though he can't wait to get down to action here.
Magee says he has several points to prove. He's had a rough couple of years. Missed out on a big fight with Joe Calzaghe. Good left hands early from Magee.
That was a leaky defence already from Carl Froch. The left hand straight through the middle, straight onto the chin.
Just looks already down to his corner, Carl Froch. Blood to his nose.
He's complaining about head clashes there. But if you're going to complain, you're in the wrong business. This is a positive start from Brian Magee. A little bit of niggle coming in already.
Heads again, bump together. Froch once again looks at his corner. I mean, Magee has the experience of fighting at a higher level.
His defence is tighter, his hands are up, his chin's down. Froch still has that lackadaisical attitude as though it'll take me a couple of rounds to get warmed up here. Well, you may not get the chance.
He often starts casually. He looked really disappointing last time against the blown-up Dale Westerman, certainly for the first few rounds. And if he lets Magee get into a rhythm, he could have problems, but a lovely uppercut! Wonderful shot! Carl Froch! And Magee goes down fairly heavily in the first round. What about that?
Well, he's putting full power into every punch, Froch. He landed a couple of beautiful punches, finished off at the uppercut. Magee has come off the floor several times in the past. He has the experience to get through this. He's lost the round, so he just wants to survive. Less than half a minute to go. Just take stock. Don't be caught again this round.
Robin Reid had Brian Magee down 4 times, and he went the distance, even though he lost on points. He's battle-hardened, Magee, but after looking as though things were under control, that was the answer from Froch. He has power.
Well, it looks as though Magee has recovered from it. He has the good sense to hold up close. Excellent first round, green start for Carl Froch.
Lean in with your punches, follow in with your punches with your feet, don't lean in with them. You know, you catch that right uppercut or leaning in.
Harry Hawkins there because you were leaning in.
Don't even listen to the referee.
You know, you can't fault Eamon Magee for that taking that uppercut, because it was a beauty. It was forcing the action. That was a beautiful punch. That would have caught most fighters around today. That was a beauty. Handled it well to get back up. He has the experience. You can see up it comes. Didn't really do too much wrong. He was pressing forward himself. Beautiful punch.
Brian Magee goes down in the first round with a juicy uppercut. Second round, eagerly anticipated. Double clash for the British and Commonwealth 12-stone titles. Richie Davis on the case already with both of them.
Yeah, well, I think the head clash is some untidy action in the first round. Richie Davis doesn't want to have to get involved, so it's a good time to have a word at the beginning of a round before the action starts.
Magee, fast hands, was a special amateur. The feeling is he hasn't quite settled to the pro game totally, and partly because of the vulnerability about his chin.
I remember in the Reid fight when Magee was hurt, every time he was caught cleanly, he went on the kind of defensive, a bit negative, but that hasn't happened tonight. He's looking to come back with a big round here.
Froch, who's spoken so much in the build-up, has pulled himself away in preparation for this. He knows how important this is after what he said.
I think this is going to be a difficult job for Richie Davis here. Some little fouls and stuff inside. Little obvious bad feeling between the two of them. This is not going to be an easy one to referee. But Magee's confidence has not been dented. He's coming back with a good round here. Froch's defences again not quite what they should be.
Hands down so much of the time, Carl Froch, based on reflexes, trying to get that uppercut free again on the inside. You're holding, behave, says Richie Davis. Oh, lovely shot from Carl Froch. And blood to Magee, who walks into another one as he comes forward.
Well, that was a full-blooded right hand there. Magee took it very, very well. But he doesn't want to be taking too many of those.
Winding his arms up, smiling now, Carl Froch.
Froch is taking away the southpaw advantage with that leading right hand.
The nose looks bad. Blood flowing from Magee's nose. In this very round, last Saturday, we had a bad injury to Barrera against Juarez.
I tell you, Froch is winding these punches up. He's using up a lot of steam, trying to finish this job with one punch. Magee still looking pretty compact. So who is going to last the pace better? Eye damage in Froch, but I think that's from clashes of heads.
Yep, he's cut just under the eye. There was a little swelling, and it is sliced open. But still, the confident swagger about Carl Froch.
Well, I think the quality punch is coming from Froch, but Magee is making them work every second. He's not used to this kind of fight. Magee's been in a few tough fights. See, that's the clashes of heads that's happened so often, and that's what caused the eye damage to Carl Froch.
Third round, fascinating one. Second defence of the British title and sixth of his Commonwealth belt for Nottingham's Carl Froch in the black and silver that he always wears. Having to deal with the southpaw style of Brian Magee, who's having his moments.
Yeah, I think Froch is trying to do it with single punches. He's scored a knockout, he's landed some beautiful right-hand leads. He doesn't look prepared to trade jabs with Magee, which is maybe not too bad an idea. But again, defences should be tighter than this.
He's again dabbing his nose. Do you think that's broken, Brian Magee's?
I think the problem is it interferes with the breathing. You have to breathe through your mouth, and that is dangerous if you get caught in the chin, obviously. The jaw can be broken. I think it's more a discomfort. Fighters don't feel the pain, but if it's interfering with his breathing, that's a big problem this early. Froch he's just winding up the big right hand. You can see what he's thinking. Magee knows exactly what he's thinking.
Flicking out the jab, Carl Froch. Looking for that right hand. Walks it to a left. Took it well. He believes that he's got a terrific chin, Carl Froch. No one has unhinged him yet.
Well, still Magee looking the bit more compact of the two.
Once more, Froch just glances down at Robert McCracken in the red corner alongside us. It's only fight number 19 for him, and 28 for Magee.
Yep, and Magee is still making Froch work. I don't think Froch is all that comfortable working at this pace. He's a smooth, classy boxer. He likes to dictate pace, but he's not doing that tonight.
Waiting for the counter and slow there, Froch. That's Magee. Comes in quickly.
When he puts the punches together, Froch, it does look so classy.
And again, Magee's head just still as he comes towards Froch. Now Richie Davis warning Froch. Good left hand.
See Magee circling to his right, trying to get outside at the Froch jab. The southpaw wants to move anti-clockwise.
Tangled up again. Styles haven't completely gelled yet.
You've got to put them together and move either side and punch again. But don't want you square on when you've done the work. Punch, step with your hands up and then go again. No, you're winning, but you just got to be a bit busier now. Yeah. All right. Let's look. Don't give this kid any encouragement by being lazy. All right. Busy again behind the reach. All right. Okay.
Right advice there from Robert McCracken.
Yeah, but I think he feels too that single punches, although they're good punches that he's throwing, not maybe enough to be winning the rounds. Magee still has that busy look, that more compact look, more positive look.
Yep, the Belfast super middleweight, quick off his stool every single round here. Plenty to prove himself. He's only been beaten twice, once controversially in a European title clash with Vitaly Sipko.
That was a poor attack. Froch almost launched it. It's as though he's not all that comfortable coming forward against the southpaw. He's happier when he draws Magee forward.
Be patient, come together.
Been sparring with Eric Timor. Southpaw, good right hand from Magee. It's one thing sparring with them, another fighting them.
Exactly, what people forget, every southpaw is different, the same as every orthodox fighter is different. But Froch looks much more comfortable when he's allowed to counter. When he's forced to lead off, when Magee draws the leads, he's not looking too comfortable. Walking right onto two shots there.
Left hand from Brian Magee. But a right back from Froch, who just seems to have that edge in power.
See, again, he's happier letting his punches go after Magee has made the first move.
Magee, though, has his business head on. He's been criticised in the past for being sloppy, not really getting on with the job. He looks focused tonight.
Yeah, right from the off, he looked as though he was treating this as his last big chance. But he realises he has to pay full respect to Froch's power. And he sees Froch winding up that right hand every time he's coming forward.
Tantalising, it really is. Very watchable.
2 minutes.
Again, Magee Closes the range with that left hand.
I think Froch is maybe just becoming just a little bit predictable at the moment. He's trying the same things. He's just holding the left hand out in front, winding up the right hand. Magee knows exactly what's coming, and it's not working the way it was in the first couple of rounds.
And Jim, Froch has the reach, but he's not really using it.
See, Froch is throwing half-hearted punches, which Magee can walk through. That is dangerous. If you're going to throw a punch, put some meat into it.
Good round this, the fourth. Busier, Brian Magee. Odd success for Carl Froch.
Last 10 seconds.
I mean, looking at Froch's body language, you know exactly what's on his mind.
Don't let him be first.
A warm welcome back to the York Hall. We've got a good one, Jim.
Yep, as good as we'd hoped. Well, Robert McCracken was asking the Froch to put some punches together more often. Didn't quite come up with that. Still pot-shotting with that single right hand. It was working earlier. It's not working quite so well now.
Again, Magee up quicker. Ready for action. And Froch just slow out of that corner. He seems to want to do everything at his own casual pace, Jim.
I think that's been his temperament all the way through his career. We wanted to see what would it be like when he was under pressure and had to perform. But people say he won't have these bad habits in a big fight, but once you go on the automatic pilot and you're under pressure, you do the things you've done 1,000 times. But a shoulder there. But a shoulder there from Froch.
Once more, and a point to be taken off Brian Magee. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, it's fair because he's been untidy with the head, but I think Richie Davis missed the shoulder from Froch there at the same time.
In need of a big performance, Carl Froch. Beat Ruben Grunewald and Dale Westerman of late, but didn't completely convince in either.
I'm surprised that Froch has an excellent jab, but he's just dabbing with it, as though he's just trying to break concentration, not trying to use it as a weapon. There's that shoulder again from Froch.
This time Richie Davis.
He's caught that one.
Yep, he noticed that. Sorry, ref, says Carl Froch. Not often he apologises.
Is he sorry he did it, Adam, or is he sorry he got caught? Good left hand, three.
Big patch for Brian Magee, this. Right hand, Froch is wobbled. But back he comes with an uppercut. Terrific action here in this domestic dust-up.
Well, nothing wrong with Froch's heart, that's for sure, because those were solid shots. But at the moment, Magee has the edge.
Still looking for the uppercut. This time Magee blocks it. And he's busy, and he's accurate, the Irishman.
Magee has been here before, Adam. That may be the big difference. Froch has done everything in second gear. Now second gear's not enough, and his defences are really letting him down.
Hands down, easy for Magee to find the target. This is a world-class amateur, Brian Magee. And he's got good wins in his pro career over Hassim Sharifi and Bush McCandy, Ramon Brites.
And he certainly looks the happier of the two at the moment.
Froch retaliates. But is Magee winning these rounds?
Well, he's still making Froch work every second, still staying on him, not giving him a breather, not allowing him to dictate the pace. There's that right hand again from Froch, so effective when he gets it home.
Magee tries to deny him the room.
Yeah, Magee having the last word in these exchanges. Good round of Brian Magee. fired up from the first bell, and that's how he's kept it all the way through. He's just disregarded anything that's come his way, come through the pain. He showed so much character, but we have to say Froch has done the same. Showed the heart when it's been required, but I do not think Carl Froch is using his skills here. Not using the jab, trying to pot shot with single shots too often. But what a battle we have on here.
Yeah, you did.
We'll have a look at this. Punches thrown, not much between them. More landed from Magee. Big success rate on the computer. And last 2 or 3 rounds, really, Jim.
Yes, for me it's turned in Magee's favour. The knockdown obviously gave a little cushion to Carl Froch, but he may have used that up already.
Yeah, it was a strange opener. Magee looked in control, but walked into a right uppercut. And Froch scored the knockdown, 10-8 round. But since then, he's not really got into any sort of rhythm. The Cobra from Nottingham.
He's still not comfortable leading off against the southpaw. I mean, that's a jab which he knew was out of range when he threw it. It's as though he's just using it to break the concentration of Magee.
British and Commonwealth belts on the line, but also so much pride. Brian Magee feels this will relaunch his career at 30. As for Carl Froch, he's got to back up the both. Mick Hennessy, Carl Froch's promoter, on his feet and worried.
Magee may just have slowed slightly. That was a good left hook from him. He was being caught in the way in a couple of times. I wondered if he was just slowing down slightly. But that was a good left hook.
14 knockouts in 18 wins. As Magee was just listening to Richie Davis there, took his mind off the job.
I mean, a couple of times Magee has done that. He's listened to the referee when he should keep his mind. If the referee doesn't call break, don't stop working.
There's a cut too to the right eye of Brian Magee. And now the confidence exudes from Froch. Can he put something together and sustain it?
There's that beautiful right hand again from Froch. See, he's getting time now to get his punches off. Magee may be feeling the pace. He's definitely slowed a little bit. Froch has got more time now, and the right hand is effective again.
Just winks at a friend at ringside. Carl Froch has so much self-belief. And now winking at you, Jim.
Yeah, I think I'd rather see him with his mind on the job. I think he feels a bit more comfortable in this round. It's not what you would say a good round, but he's having more time now. I don't think Magee has put the same threat into his work in this round. So maybe just feeling the pace slightly, as he's entitled to.
Just maybe close the gap here in the 6th, Carl Froch. Look at this, though. That's silly stuff, isn't it?
Well, that's what he's all about. I think we can forget about changing him. But I think he's made a point in this round. I think things were turning against him, and you expect champions when things get a little bit tough to react. And he's done that in this round. Turned things around.
Not a great round for Brian Magee. It looks like he's picked up 2 cuts, one over each eye.
Yeah, well, the heads are coming together. I'm glad to see that. I mean, that was a bad cut. That's what caused the second cut there. I'm pleased that no points have been deducted, because I feel one man is as guilty as the other. It's a rough fight. It's going to be a rough fight. But boy, what a battle it's turned into.
Really good one here at the spiritual home of British boxing. Carl Froch and Brian Magee, 2 of our best operators in the 12-stone division, and that's how close it is on your card.
Yeah, the cushion, as I say, in the first round, the 10-8. So Froch, with that last round, just getting himself a point up on my card.
Froch, a double English amateur champion. Won a bronze in the world. Brian Magee, 4 senior Irish titles and a spot in the Olympic team for Ireland. These are 2 very classy fighters.
Well, Magee didn't make Froch work. in the last round the way he's been doing it earlier in the fight, so he's going to have to go back to that. Oh, a good left hook from Magee. Froch takes it well.
Sweet shot. Chin remains firm of Froch. Hasn't been able to land that uppercut again. He's tried.
Well, we wonder if Froch would be doing any work on his defence. He hasn't. He still brings that left hook up from his hip. A little bit of shoulder again there.
Blown so hot and cold, Brian Magee, over the years. Left hand there. A few Irish fans that have come over on their feet on the balcony.
Yeah, well, Magee trying to set the pace again as he was earlier. That was the pace that Froch wasn't all that comfortable with.
Enticing clash. Can you pick a winner at this stage?
Well, as you see, I have 1 point in it at the moment. Maybe the better quality work at the moment coming from Karl Froch.
Magee still pressing forward though.
But once again, you get the impression looking at Froch that if he wanted, he could look so much better, he could do so much more. He always seems to have something in reserve.
3 judges at ringside nowadays with the British title on the line. They could be seeing it so many different ways.
Yeah, they're both tiring about the action, getting a little bit untidy as you can expect.
Richie Davis looks exhausted already. It's going to be won or lost down the stretch.
Catch them with the left hand, right through the middle, keep it chest high, bring your right hook over the top of the back again. Left hand, right hook, and then you can stay there. Try to get the left uppercut in the head. Left hand, right hook, and then look for that one out to the side.
See, Magee still putting everything into it, but I don't think he's making the same impact on Froch over the last couple of rounds. I mean, this was a good spell in the round, but I thought the quality of punches in the round was with Froch. Still these single shots, still not putting much of his work together. But these are good punches, as you can see, well delivered, accurate.
You did, but you're making a couple of rounds close. Let's be busy now, let's go to work. I need a couple of big rounds off you, all right? Do you understand? Yeah. Come on, switch on then.
Robert McCracken, who fired Lenny Dawes and Lee Meagher to British title triumphs a couple of weeks ago, and he wants more work from Karl Froch. He says these rounds are close, and they are.
With Magee and with a fellow who obviously wants to counter punch, you would expect him to show a little feint before he goes to work, try to draw the leads from Froch. But he's marching straight in now, and he's not getting close enough.
Trying to utilise the jab again. Karl Froch with the 77-inch reach, 6'1" he stands. Then he just falls back again.
Well, he's happy with this pace. He likes to think things out. He doesn't want toe-to-toe battles. In the earlier part of the fight, Magee was making him work at an uncomfortable pace, but that's not happening. These rounds, he's much more comfortable looking Froch, working at his own pace.
Again, backs off, and Magee, gloves high, looking for the openings. Spirited this from Brian Magee after what he's been through lately.
Yeah, well, when you think he's on the floor in the first round, he's taken some full-blooded punches from Froch, who is an obvious puncher. But this is a lazy round from Froch here.
We knew about Magee's heart way back in July of 2001 in this very ring. He was floored by Chris Nemyard in the first and came back to win.
Get his left hand working again, Magee. Accurate shot, straight. Good right hook.
Oh, big shot for Brian Magee. Froch tries to respond. And again they open up, like they did in the fifth.
Well, I think we have to say both men showing tremendous character here, because these are full-blooded shots that have been landed from each.
Oh, right uppercut, partially blocked by Magee. Did well to get his gloves up. Showed champion qualities as well, Froch, tonight.
Yep, showed tremendous character. There's an uppercut again, so dangerous looking. This may be the round of the fight that decides the outcome. They've both used up so much energy here, round about this stage. Who will one crumble, one or the other?
Very tight round.
Hard work now. Now we'll start standing where you want him, all right? That round of hard graph's getting where you want him, all right? You get a second win, you're very free. Put your legs out and relax. Listen to me. See, because you maintain the work, you start missing with counters and then you're nailing him. We just need another round or two like that. You won that round clearly, but you've left a couple of rounds that are close. You don't need to with him, because he's barely hanging in there now, all right?
Did he win that round clearly?
Well, I wonder if this is the stage where the fresher of the two, the man with the dreams and ambitions, is just going to take charge, because that was the big round. It was an important round. They both used up a lot of steam, as you can see here. Full-blooded punches thrown and landed from either man. Not an easy one to split. Maybe this is where the fight will be decided.
Have a look at that. The success on the computer remains with Magee. More punches thrown by Froch. Very much up for grabs in a good fight. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of debate already around ringside. Magee just falls to the floor. This is now about stamina, about fitness, training and ambition.
Yep, ambition the main thing. Who wants it that little bit more? But really you couldn't choose between the two. Magee has been fired up right from the start. Froch is the one with the pressure on him. But he's coped with it well.
Froch on the way up.
I tell you, Froch is showing great qualities tonight, but I don't see any improvement in his boxing technique. He's still loose, still defences, a defence you would worry about. But boy, he showed tonight why he's a champion.
Calling Magee in. Body shot. Down he goes.
That was just a stumble. I think Rich has seen that one wrong. He was on his way down before the punch landed. That could just be a disaster for Brian Magee. I thought he was on his way to his knees before the body punch landed. Still, he hasn't complained. He's just got right on with it. Hopefully we'll see that between rounds. And I thought, as I say, he was on the floor.
Richie Davis called it though, Jim. He called it, and that could be crucial, depending on what the judges think. How will that change the way Froch goes about his work? Good comeback from Magee. He's fighting his heart out tonight, the Irishman.
Well, nothing that has happened to Brian Magee tonight has changed his mind in the slightest. He just keeps driving forward.
Magee attempts to get the defence back up. Looks more well-schooled at times. And Froch, cameo shots. Again,
Full-blooded shots landed from either man. Maybe just now and again a little sign of tiredness, and Froch is what here. He's happy for the respite, he's happy for the breaks.
Talking to Richie Davison there. Is he running low on steam, on energy?
He he's happy to clash, but I mean, this really has been a hard battle. Every single round, virtually every second of those rounds.
Beautiful punch, Magee. Back comes Froch. Grueling affair for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight titles. How do you score that one?
Well, I couldn't split them action-wise, but the knockdown, we have to score it to Karl Froch. Hopefully we'll see this the replay again. It looked to me as though Magee was on his way down before the punch line. We'll see it here. Did Richie get it right? No, the punch landed, but I think it was more a balance thing than anything else. Still, if a punch lands, and he was thrown to the side by the left hand, it wasn't a knockdown, maybe a difficult one for Richie Davis to spot from that angle, but it looked more like he was on his way down from the pull with the left hand as the punch. But it cost him dearly.
Fucking referee giving the count there.
Harry Hawkins disgraced about the referee giving the count.
But you're killing him.
Landed a body shot, Froch, bundled him over. Richie Davis counted it, and this is how you've got it now.
Yep, 2 points up for Froch, as you can see. I think in the last couple of rounds he's been allowed to work at a pace he's more comfortable with. He's allowed to pot shot, but he is looking tired.
9 minutes to go. Compelling. Can't take your eyes off this one. We hoped it would be a good match, and these two have provided it. What has it told you about both men?
Well, certainly the both men are still full of ambition. Froch, he showed the character of a champion tonight. I still worry we're not seeing the improvement in his technique that I would have liked to see, because he's got the class, but sometimes his mind doesn't look in the job, his defence is not what it should be. You can't take these mistakes up to one level, but the character he's shown and everything else, all the qualities of a champion tonight, no doubt of that.
Again, Magee, control. Diving in, has occasionally had that problem in the past. A lot of needle, a lot of talk in the build-up, mainly between the two promotional camps. The two fighters quite like each other actually, and they've got plenty of respect.
At the moment is just buying time with that jab. He's just trying to keep Magee at bay, not really using it as a weapon to open up defence. He's just flicking it out. There it goes again, although looking for the right hand that time. Both men very tired.
Again, talking in there, Karl Froch. Richie Davis has cut it out. Wants Magee to come to him so he can counter. There's the uppercut that floored Magee in the first round.
See it again, Froch is producing the quality just in the last minute of the round.
Now what's Richie Davis going to do? Don't do it again after he called the break.
See, a few times Richie, wanting the action to flow, has spoken to the fighters without telling them to break, and I think a couple of times Magee has misread that and stopped working. It's dangerous. You have to concentrate on the job unless you hear the command break.
Tit and tat in so many of these rounds, but the two knockdowns scored in Karl Froch's favour, who's coming on strong at the end of the 10th. Magee holds this time.
Diving in looking to roll now. All you've got to do is put your feet out, yeah. But listen, all he's doing is diving in looking to hold, all right? All you've got to do is use your reach and move side to side. Don't stand and look at him, all right? listen to me, I need you to dominate now, all right? He's knackered, he's just diving in and holding, all right? I need you to dominate. Doesn't matter, we sort it out afterwards. I need the combinations working, all right? Okay? You got 2 rounds, I need the work.
Is Froch pulling away?
Yeah, he is in my card just with the better quality work. I mean, Magee showing tremendous heart, tremendous determination, but there's no real method now in what he's doing. See, this is that was the call of break, but a few times during the action, Richie has, to let the action flow, has spoken to the fighter, so you have to be concentrating unless he says break.
Another cracking domestic fight. Carl Froch aiming to retain the British belt that he won against Damon Haig, and the Commonwealth title he beat Charles Adamu for. And Brian Magee, who's been an IBO champion in the past, aiming for these prestigious belts. He's worked so hard, Richie Davis, in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I won't say he's had the hardest job of the two, but yet he's never stopped. It's been a rough battle all the way through. A few of the rules bent, some of them broken cleanly. But it's as good a fight as we expected it to be.
Who can finish the stronger? Lovely southpaw jab from Brian Magee. It's what you like, isn't it, Jim?
Oh, that was a good shot from Froch. Left, straight left with the jab that he's hardly used, followed by the right hand. Textbook stuff, so simple, yet so effective. That will have drained, yep, that's drained a lot away from Brian Magee.
Not sure he's going to get up from this. Terrific shot from Carl Froch. Came on strong, there's the power, and suddenly turns the fight on its head and retains his British and Commonwealth titles after a really hard, grueling affair. It was a heavy knockdown, and the doctors are straight in to tend to Brian Magee. Medical work, first class as always. Froch, to be fair to him, does not celebrate.
Yeah,
and
well,
the concern now with Magee.
It's been a long, hard struggle, and when you're exhausted, obviously, punches as cleanly as that have more of an effect. But hopefully this is just precautionary stuff going on here. I don't see any signs of panic. They've got him on his side, they'll just be making sure he's breathing properly. So, as I say, hopefully, yep, no signs of panic. Hopefully everything is okay, but it's a bad time in the fight to be caught so cleanly with such a full-blooded shot, but they're pulling the stool over, which suggests they want to set him up. So that's excellent news, yes. Thank heavens.
The York Hall crowd rise as Brian Magee sits back on his stool. The first time in his boxing career that he's been stopped. And Carl Froch, when it mattered, produced the goods all of a sudden.
Yeah, he showed the quality, I mean, all the way through, he showed the qualities of a champion that you can't instill. They have to be there, the heart, the grit, the determination. I'd like to see him maybe working a bit more on his skills. Maybe he didn't want to use the jab against a southpaw, maybe he felt it would come off second best. But I always feel it was a wonderful performance, a wonderful fight, but always finished by looking at Carl Froch and saying, you can do even more, and I'm sure he will. I mean, at this stage, he was filling in the driving seat. And that was the punch that landed, and you could just see it just drained everything away. He'd been caught cleanly just before that, which I think set him up for the finisher. But you can see, I mean, Richie Davis didn't have to bother even thinking about a count there. Just right on the point of the chin. And as I say, at that stage, couldn't possibly recover from that. But a wonderful effort from Brian Magee. Tremendous effort.
Yep, valiant and spirited Brian Magee, but Carl Froch unleashes the right uppercut that floored the Irishman in the opening round and finishes him in round number 11.
Well, I think the difference between the two most of the way through was the quality of punch. and that was always in Carl Froch's favour. Always had that little bit more dynamite in his punches. Tremendous performance, tremendous victory.
It lived up to it, didn't it? What a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 21 seconds of round 11, the referee has stopped the contest. The winner by technical count-out, and still the super middleweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, Carl the Cobra Froch. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'd like to show your appreciation to a very fine opponent indeed from Belfast, Brian Magee. I'll now call upon the steward in charge, Mr. Phil Lundgren, and the Commonwealth representative, Mr. Simon Block, to present the Lonsdale belt and the Commonwealth belt to the super middleweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, Carl Froch.
The victory of his career so far, the 19th and most important. He predicted he would stop Brian Magee, and this time he has backed up his word after a tough encounter. There with delighted trainer Robert McCracken, who guided him through the fight carefully and cautiously, and he delivered the goods. There's plenty still to come on this terrific Friday fight night. Great match. Gilbert Eastman and Gary Woolcombe meet for the Southern Area Light Middleweight title. Woolcombe, the unbeaten prospect. Eastman hoping to turn back time a bit. And Carl Froch, well, at 28, he's really come of age tonight. And it will be, as always, interesting to hear what he says with Ed Robinson.
Well, Carl, great result, but was that harder than you've been expecting?
It was a little bit harder than I expected, but that's because no excuses. Absolutely nailed him, got him out of there in different class. Like I said, I was from the start. I damaged my right hand when I put him down early. It was a cracking uppercut. It's not gone or anything, but it's really sore, and I'm a little bit paranoid about it because I spent a lot of money on it getting it fixed. So I just took my time and picked my shots, and I wanted everything to be on the chin and not on the elbows and that. But yeah, Brian Magee's a tough, strong, experienced operator. He's been in with some of the best fighters in the world, Reid and European champion Sipko. He knows his way around the ring. That's my 19th fight. I told everybody what I'm made of and what I can do. I've come here tonight and I've proved it, so I haven't really got a great deal to say, to be honest. I let my hands do the talking.
Great finishing punch. Did you always feel you had the power to finish it?
I always told everybody from the start I've got the power to finish anybody in the world. So I knew once I connected, he'd be in serious trouble, as he was. God willing, he'll be okay.
How far does this go to proving the doubters wrong?
You tell me. Ask Jim Watt, he knows what he's talking about. He's one of my best critics, so what did he think of the performance?
Have you still got plenty to learn, or are you ready for anyone?
You're always learning in this sport. You're always learning. Rob McCracken is the best trainer in the world. I'm in the best stable. Hennessy Sports, Ace Arai, that's the best camp out there. We've got all the champions. We're doing it properly. This is how it should be done. And we're going to go on to European and world honours. Hennessy Sports, Robert McCracken, Carl Froch, DCM Money Solutions. Big respect to them. What can I say?
Well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
And when he lets his hands do the talking, I think we all need to start paying attention. Thoughts from Nicky Piper and Glenn McCrory on the big win of Froch's career so far. A man on the way up against a man on the way down, perhaps. And at light middleweight, similar story in the making. Gilbert Eastman against Gary Woolcombe, but how would that one turn out? From Sky Sports, it's a run of the best domestic action in the next week or so. Next Tuesday night, Martin Power and Isaac Ward, they meet for the British Bantamweight title. That's next Tuesday at 10 on Sky Sports 1, and there's more on Thursday night. From Birmingham, Young Mutley and Kevin Anderson. British and Commonwealth welterweight titles at stake in that one, and that's an 8 o'clock start next Thursday night on Sky Sports 1. Carl Froch still very much British and Commonwealth champion at super middleweight. Super fight, but no dispute. Brian Magee seen off late on. It was good, Nicky, wasn't it? Was it better than you expected, in truth?
Well, I expected a good fight, but it was better than that. It was a really competitive fight. Great, of course, the York is always good for an exciting fight, but both fighters gave it their all, and especially Magee, you have to take a hat off to him. He really tried hard, and unlucky in the end. He was just ahead on my card. But, of course, the power came from Froch.
Indeed, Glenn, you raised the technical deficiencies in this man's makeup, but he does have power, doesn't he, Carl?
Well,
Froch?
he doesn't want to be picking on Jim, because I was a big critic as well, you know, and I think, you know, he needed a big performance, and he got a big performance, because that was a very good Brian Magee.
But doesn't it give him a great chance all the time? Magee was probably shading the first round, and then he's on the deck.
No, and all the time he came out, whenever he got hit with a good shot, whenever there was anything, Magee come back, Magee kept trying, you know, but he always had that bit extra power, didn't it? In single punches, he really reminds me of a bit of a throwback. You know, there's not much of a stylish, you know, with Carl Froch. He's got a wide stance, arms are low, but he's looking for the big punch. And when you can do that in the 11th round against a very good Brian Magee, you've got it.
Was it beginning to look for you, Nicky, like a night when, however valiantly Magee was doing, the odds were just stacking up against him? Well, there was a knockdown counted in round 9. Whether it was or not,
I didn't actually score it so much. It was. I think Froch landed a hook and then more or less threw Magee to the floor. So I think it was the throw that caused the knockdown, not the punch. So and then he hit him on the floor, which he did a couple of times actually. But Magee kept coming back, and we learned quite a few things about Froch tonight. Not only can he really punch, of course, but he can take a punch. Because in the 8th round, Magee, who's a fair puncher himself,
he's got the right temp. He's got the right temperament. Exactly. He's fiery. Whenever Magee landed with good punches, and I thought Magee was doing well in the fight. And whenever he landed with good punches, good combination, Froch just put him in his place with a stronger shot.
He does, though, still have things to learn. Not so much learn, because I think he knows. McCracken's been telling him, I'm sure, for the last year or two.
I don't know if he's going to.
Well, he needs to up his pace, Glenn.
I'm not sure you're going to change him that much.
No, you won't.
I think
exactly.
that's what he is.
But you know, the game that he's got, with the finishing power that he's got, he has got to believe that it could take him a long way now, surely.
Of course it can. As I said, that was a very good Brian Magee. You know, that was a good stylish win, and he did it with power and excellent finish.
Terrific finish. I mean, the short hook at the end, you know, right on the chin.
The shot he landed all the time. He knew what to do. The southpaw's coming in, just get that little bit of space, step to the right, throw the right uppercut. But it landed so often.
It was so accurate, because he started to throw the right uppercut, then saw the uppercut wasn't going to land. He turned into a hook. I mean, he was totally accurate there. But the point I'm making here, this power will take you so far. I think against the very, very best, you need to have a good work rate too, as Joe Calzaghe does, and I think that he really needs to up the pace and work.
Let me be his spokesman for a minute, though, Glenn. You know, whether you like the way he goes about it, out of the ring or not, in terms of selling himself, he told us, look, better the opposition, the better you'll see me do. And he's done that tonight, hasn't he?
I wanted to see a really special performance. I think at this part of his career, you know, he's had some easy wins. He needed something special, and that was special. People don't do that to Brian Magee.
No, nobody's ever done it to Brian Magee. You know, Robin Reid put him down 4 times, couldn't stop him. You know, he's been dropped a couple of times before, but always got up, and this was, you know, an on-form Magee too.
Fine top of the bill here at the York Hall Bethnal Green. Pretty decent chief supporting contest here now. Gilbert Eastman, one-time class welterweight, a second coming in a sense for Eastman at the age of 33, now at light middle, and the southern area champion. Gary Woolcombe, though, the hot young fancy coming into this. Outstanding amateur, seen as a potential British title challenger for the last year or so, but the big test for him here.
The latest step up for unbeaten hope Gary Woolcombe. 20 straight wins. He's made steady progress, and time to pitch him in with a slightly bigger name, Gilbert Eastman, the southern area light middleweight champion, once a very useful operator himself, but now 33 and in need of resurrecting his own career. Right test, right time for Woolcombe?
Yeah, I think so. I think last time out, Woolcombe, they put him in with Eugenio Montero, who can be a bit of a nightmare for some people. I wonder if maybe they're a little bit quick with that one, but he boxed well, won the fight handily. So I think they're going to find out now, is he ready to go into the mix at British title level? And I think we'll find that out tonight.
And Eastman's last fight was an absolute disaster. He was wiped out by Gary Lockett in Newport, went up to middleweight and didn't last a round, so he may have his own demons going on there, but that's a nice right hand.
Well, Woolcombe landed a good left hook, maybe expected Eastman to maybe be stopped in his tracks by it, but he came right through it, got off some more punches of his own. So he's up in a slightly higher league now, so the punches that stopped other people on their tracks might not stop this fellow.
That's good from Gary Woolcombe, who's 8 years younger at 25 and very much the man on the way up. It depends really, Jim, how much Eastman has left, because at the beginning he looked a real prospect himself.
Yeah, he's a real smooth operator. You know, the punches come out smoothly, they're accurate. He's had a few breaks in his career, I don't know why. But that's a nice little burst he's put together there.
And a slight swelling by the right eye of Gary Woolcombe, who has to eat up another jab.
Well, both men right down to business. This hasn't taken any time to warm up. This is good stuff straight away.
Composed look to Eastman.
I think Woolcombe has settled down a little bit. I think he felt he had to answer every attack, had to counter everything in the first minute or so. But he's taking his time a little bit more. He's maybe settling in now.
Interesting first round.
Yeah, keep the jug a bit longer, but don't go there with the
Who got the better start? It was fairly level, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fairly level. I just thought Eastman was a bit busy in the first couple of minutes, but Woolcombe settled nicely in the last minute or so and boxed himself into things. But not an easy one to score, but I thought maybe Eastman in the first couple of minutes. But really, around it could have gone either way. Some of the accurate stuff early, I think he settled a little bit quicker. But Woolcombe certainly come into it in the last minute.
Seconds out, round 2.
Here's the second round, the first defence of the Southern Area light middleweight title for Battersea's Gilbert Eastman, brother of Howard, of course, formerly from Guyana, up against Gary Woolcombe from Bexley Heath. Woolcombe in the black and silver, and high hopes from the team. Manager Eugene Maloney believes Woolcombe will become a British champion one day.
Yep, he's settled down now, Woolcombe, as I say. The first minute, I think, was just a little bit over-anxious in the opening round, but claiming the centre of the ring, picking the shots off nice. Well, this is good stuff from Woolcombe.
Attempting to back up Eastman on those ropes. It's a good, solid-looking jab. He's been one of these steady improvers, hasn't he, Woolcombe?
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of stoppages on his record. He's boxed a lot of 4-rounders with people who know how to do 4 rounds. And that stands you in good stead. That's better than the blast-outs some fighters have. Just under a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of inexperience there. He should have claimed Eastman a little bit earlier there, or he should have gotten himself out of there. Just slept a little bit there.
Trying to pepper Eastman with the jab. Got a decent reach, Woolcombe. And the height as well in there. It's quite a haphazard, rough sort of Eastman here in the second.
Yep, he's trying to walk Woolcombe down. Woolcombe's using the ring well, just keeping things at arm's length, but I think he's much more comfortable. Nice little burst of punches. Another good round, but certainly Woolcombe's work has improved.
Now Eastman tries to back Woolcombe up in a bit of a reverse. Good right hand.
Sometimes when Woolcombe's under pressure, you see the lack of experience he has at this level. He just leaves his chin a little bit exposed, keeps his head too still, doesn't claim the other guy soon enough. That was a nice one to come back with.
Yep, one criticism has been the upper body in the head, a bit static of Gary Woolcombe. He was shook up by Matt Scriven last year. And And he was stopped in the amateurs by Kevin Anderson.
Keep the jump, keep the jump.
Question marks there. Nothing wrong with the offense, though.
Yeah, good round for Woolcombe.
Important fight here at the York Hall between these two light middleweights. Gary Woolcombe, probably ranked about 7 in the country, and Gilbert Eastman at 8. Eastman with the experience, the knowledge, but Woolcombe with the freshness of youth. It's nicely balanced.
It's a good match. I mean, Eastman, the smooth operator who likes to pick punches when the time is right, whereas Woolcombe doesn't mind working at a pace. So I think that's what Woolcombe should be doing, pumping these jabs out. Just keep Eastman occupied, because he can draw mistakes and he throws nice, smooth-looking punches. There goes one of them.
Classy moves Gilbert Eastman's always had, as he really tries to crank it up, take Gary Woolcombe to a place he may not have been yet in his fledgling career.
Yeah, Woolcombe just being nice and cagey, not committing himself too much, throwing long-range punches, which at this stage in the fight is probably the right tactics.
Again, Eastman tries to look for that cheeky uppercut.
Well, this is punch for punch at the moment. This might just be one of those fights that's all about who has the last word in these exchanges, just to catch the referee's eye, because this is really level stuff at the moment.
Eastman tries to apply the pressure. Work rate may be an important factor. Left hand from Gary Woolcombe, just caught Eastman there a bit slow. And a right hand. And a smile from Eastman. This is good work from Woolcombe.
And it's a good plan also in this type of fight to finish rounds strongly, because if the referee hasn't quite made his mind up at this stage, then turn him in your favour. Good strong finish from Woolcombe.
Yeah, series of right hands combinations. Now he tries a left uppercut, Gary Woolcombe. Well, if the first two were close, no doubt who won that one. Round 4. 21st fight for Gary Woolcombe, in a career that started in this month back in 2003. For Gilbert Eastman, it's fight number 25, and he made his debut way back in 1996. Fought bravely for the Commonwealth welterweight title. Sort of went away after that loss to Kofi Jantua, but he's back, and he's a decent operator.
I think Eastman's trying to time the left hook at the moment, but maybe just showing out a little bit. He's just feeling with the jab. This is better from Woolcombe. He's throwing a jab. When he throws it, he means it.
Great deal of confidence in the camp of Gary Woolcombe and in the fighter himself. Doesn't get nervous before bouts. Believes that he's learning and improving with these mini tests. And it's all about stepping up bit by bit, Jim.
Yeah, well, they did that, as I say, last time out, so they feel he's ready for this. And so far, so good. He's keeping Eastman occupied all the while, even when he's not really doing much himself. He's just firing out the jab, just breaking the concentration. You'll notice Eastman hasn't really been able to mount anything in this round. Just 1.5 into the round, and Eastman really hasn't produced anything as yet. So good plan so far from Woolcombe.
Straight right hand. Here's the combinations. Back comes Eastman though. Look at this. That's the two. Fire the fist.
Again, just little signs that Woolcombe still has things to learn when the other guy's applying pressure. Just at times he's caught between two decisions, whether to get out of there or whether to stand and trade. But back onto the good solid long range stuff again.
That jab just keeping Eastman at bay, largely off balance. And he's doing more here, Woolcombe.
See, that's the difference with the jab. Eastman's pawing with his jab as though he's trying to find the range for the right hand or the left hook. But Woolcombe is pounding his jab out, using it as a weapon. And this is another good round so far for Gary Woolcombe.
Just a spot of blood in the nose of Gary Woolcombe. That swelling hasn't got any worse by the right eye.
Put the pressure on him.
I think they're earning each other's respect in there. But it's Woolcombe's round again. Well, the improving Gary Woolcombe in the black trunks and the gold of Gilbert Eastman, who won this Southern Area title against Spencer Fearon back in October 2003. Bizarrely, this is only his first defence. It's a good match on paper, and Woolcombe just ahead for you, Jim.
Yep, a couple of good body shots there from Eastman. I think that he's just trying to get his feet close before he unloads. Eastman, he's going to have to be careful he's not outworked. Sometimes he's taken too long to get in close and the punches off.
Yes, the lackadaisical attitude also hampered his brother Howard. World-class fighter, no doubt, but no world title to his name. Maybe in the dreams.
Yeah, well, that kind of laid-back attitude. I mean, it's as I say, he's a smooth operator. There's no question. But sometimes you just have to pump the punches out, match the other guy's work rate.
Keeping his mind on the job, Woolcombe. Trying to get the jab out as Eastman creeps a little bit closer.
Woolcombe not enjoying himself quite so much in this round. Eastman hasn't done a lot more, but he's not allowing Woolcombe to set up the same attacks that he did in the previous round. He's just stepped up a gear without actually appearing to have done so. I think that's experience. Just as though he's trying to quietly impose himself on Woolcombe.
Just out of sorts here, Gary Woolcombe, as Gilbert Eastman turns it around and backs up the Bexley Heath man. Calls himself Hot Stuff, Gary Woolcombe. It's pretty hot and intense in there, and this is a good spell for Gilbert Eastman.
See, that's just the difference in experience again. I think that's been marked in every round. Just at times Woolcombe doesn't have the experience, and Eastman just started, as I say, to quietly impose himself in this round. This is a different Gilbert Eastman.
A good defence too there from the Battersea man. Calls himself Hurricane. Deep breath on the bell from Gilbert Eastman, but surely his round.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, that's sort of pressure, right? Which is beautiful, okay? I don't want to stop. I want you to start and finish just like you finished. Listen to me. You go over the top, Gilly. You need to come round. If you ever come inside the middle, you need to tighten up and come inside the middle.
James Cook,
okay? This guy's open up and choose
training,
you need to learn to come underneath. Yeah?
Yeah, well, he was a lovely boxer himself, and I'm sure he passes on. But you can see at times lack of experience, just putting Woolcombe in trouble. At times, when he should get himself out of there, or he should claim the other guy to nullify the work, he just stands his ground. His spirit wants him to fight back, but it's not always the right thing to do. Well, you see, I still have Woolcombe 1 point up, but that was a good round for Eastman.
Plenty to fight for here, not just the southern area like middleweight title, but a place nearer the top end of the British rankings. Jamie Moore, the domestic champion, Wayne Alexander right up there, Bradley Price, Commonwealth holder, Matthew Macklin, Michael Jones. It's a tough division. Gary Woolcombe and Gilbert Eastman hoping to play their part.
Off the road, centre, Gary, centre.
What's Woolcombe got to do now to swing it back his way? Get the jab going again.
Yeah, but it's get the range sorted out again. But, I mean, it's surely the first time that Eastman has imposed himself and given some real problems. So I think maybe more movement around the ring, get the punches off and get himself out of there. I mean, Eastman is the more mature, the more seasoned, so you don't want to be standing any longer in front of him than you have to. Get the punches in, get yourself out of there.
Eastman has 13 knockouts, Woolcombe only 6, but as Jim was saying earlier, largely against journeymen he's built his career, who are there to survive, and had a fantastic knockout win over Lee Murtaugh in January. Eye-catching that, so he can bang a bit too.
Well, the good thing about Woolcombe, he's prepared even in a tough fight to put his heart and soul into it, and if he's forced to take a couple in return, just to keep pumping the punches out, try to do it on work rate, and maybe he's going to have to do that, keep this hot pace going, and hopefully Eastman will tire that little bit.
Activity is with Gary Woolcombe, but the experience with Gilbert Eastman.
Well, it's good news for Woolcombe that the good round of Eastman, the previous round, hasn't dented his confidence too much. He's come back still full of fire. He set the pace certainly in this round.
I wonder when he took that gulp of air at the end of the 5th, Gilbert Eastman. It was just starting to become a touch tiring for him. Hasn't really built on the good round he had, although that wasn't a bad uppercut.
See, again, the lack of experience when he's under pressure, but not a bad round for him.
Well, it is a
good shot, then he fall asleep, Billy.
Very important fight, this,
good shot and then fall asleep.
for a number of reasons. Gary Woolcombe remains unbeaten, and this is what he's looking towards. Jamie Moore, the British champion, he's meant to be fighting Matthew Macklin. That will be a cracker if it happens. Wayne Alexander, Michael Jones. They're all getting a little bit older now, aren't they, Jim?
Yeah, well, Matthew Macklin certainly isn't there. Jamie Moore, even Michael Jones still got a lot. There's a few tough nuts ahead of both of these guys. But if Jamie Moore, who has won the Lonsdale belt, decides to ditch the title, then maybe a few will get into the mix. The winner of this one could be one of them.
Many people feel Matthew Macklin is the one to come and take over. Who knows? Gary Woolcombe doing okay. Here's the 7th round. Could be fairly tight, this. between Gilbert Eastman and Gary Woolcombe. Ian John Lewis refereeing this Southern Area title and scoring. Some have been close, the sessions.
A good left hook from Woolcombe, but didn't budge Eastman in the slightest.
Slaps that left hook round Gary Woolcombe. Should have the freshness of legs and the ambition as well, Jim, here now as it gets to the latter stages.
That may be what it comes down to. Well, he's beginning to push Eastman back, but he's getting too close. He should be pushing Eastman back and stepping back himself, giving himself some room. Eastman's experience is going to spoil up close, going to mess him around, so if he gets Eastman on the back foot, just give himself room to work. Good left hook. Eastman attempts to throw an assault of his own, but his legs just looking a bit more shaky, Gilbert Eastman, and having to hold up close. I think that the big fifth round is maybe taking a little bit out of the tank for Eastman. He really had to work hard there. It was an important stage of the fight. He needed a big round, he produced it, but I wonder at what cost. Oh, good left hook. There's a tired look about Eastman's movements now. He's flapping with his punches, he's lost that tightness of defence. Low punch there.
A shade low, that one, but the others are whipping in, and Gilbert Eastman has nothing left, and Ian John Lewis has caused a halt to proceedings. Gilbert Eastman is furious about that, but Gary Woolcombe wins the battle in the 7th round here in Bethnal Green, and he'll be absolutely delighted about that. But Jim, Gilbert Eastman, despite going through a bad patch, is now apoplectic.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is an important fight, and one real full-blooded bomb landed on his chin, but he took it, his head wasn't and rolled around. I may have been happier if Ian John Lewis had just taken another second or so to have another look to see how he was going to respond to that punch, to see if he was going to cover up or if he was going to come back. I mean, we've got a very experienced man here in a critical time in his career and a very important fight. I mean, I don't often like them. I'm not criticising referees. Better too soon than too late. But I would have preferred maybe just maybe took a second or so to assess the situation before he acted. Lovely punches, and it did look as though he was tiring. It did look as though Gary Woolcombe was finally making a big impression, taking control. But I just feel in such an important fight, just take a wee second longer. I mean, that was a good punch, and you can see the body language. He certainly was tiring. And that was a good left hook. A full-blooded right hand landed as well. Will we see that? There we go, good. That was the right hand, bang on the chin. Now, he was rolling around, looking back. We don't really know how he was going to react. As I say, better too soon than too late, but an experienced man, maybe he should have been given just a second longer, because his eyes are clear, his head wasn't rolled around. But I can understand how he feels now. I can understand his reaction there. Huge disappointment for him.
I'm sure most people felt Gilbert Eastman was on his way to defeat, but was this the right time to stop him?
Yep, as I say, it looked as though Woolcombe was fresher, younger. There was a tired look about some of Eastman's work this early in the round. It's not like it was the end of the round, so all told, better safe than sorry, but I can understand how cross he feels.
21st straight win for Gary Woolcombe.
I was getting caught a bit too much in fifth, is it? Fourth or fifth? But yeah, I got pulled off the shots in the end, now it works. So.
Do you feel you were more disciplined with your boxing this evening?
I'm disciplined. I'm just the better the opponent, the better I box, and the tougher the fight, the better I'll just perform better every time.
Did you feel Gilbert slowing down a little bit?
Slowing down. He's a strong lad. He caught me a few good shots. I'd say he's very strong.
Was it a good stoppage?
It was a good stoppage. Yeah, it was nice. I'd like to have dropped him before, but I'm happy with the win.
I think the stoppage was. It could have been a bit controversial, but another 30 seconds, another 40 seconds, he would have stopped him anyway. I think the referee saved Gilbert. You could see Gilbert was getting tired as the fight was going on. He had a good effort the round before, but then the bag was empty after that.
Very unhappy, very unhappy. He wasn't even hurt me. I should know my limitations. I mean, every time I hit him, he's like, ooh, ooh, he can feel my power, but at the end of the minute, he's rubbing and holding me.
So you're calling for a rematch with him?
Yes. I would fight him tonight if you want a rematch. Tomorrow, either way, wherever. Right in his backyard, I would go and fight him anywhere.
Who's right, Glenn?
Have you ever known a fighter yet know his limitations? Your fighters are too brave for their own good. I thought the referee was right there. He's a very experienced referee, and you know he has been stopped. Of his 4 losses, three of them come inside schedule, and I think he was starting to wilt, start not firing back. The referee, for me, it wasn't a bad stop.
Is that how you saw it, Nicky?
I can see the argument for being a bit controversial. Maybe the ref could have waited another 5 or 10 seconds, but you know, Glenn's got a point. You know, Ian John Lewis, you know, did the stoppage. He thought he was the man in charge, and he took the decision to stop it.
Okay, well, he gets the win, and you know, coming into the fight, Woolcombe was the youngster on the way up, much like Carl Froch here, perhaps. Now, where can he go?
Well, he's going to be challenging Jamie Moore, hopefully, for the British title. Or
you think he's got that level of ability now?
Personally, right now, no, I don't. I think he's good, but he's improving. You know, he's young, he's unbeaten, he's gaining confidence from fights like this and wins and learning from these sort of fights.
Just looking at him overall, I think what he needs is strength.
Yeah.
For me, he still seems a little bit weak physically, and I think they could just hang him about a little bit, put him in the gym, lots more tough sparring, really sort of test him and strengthen him up, and I think he'll be a better fighter for that.
Some guys mature later. He's 25, you know, some guys are men at 21. You know, he does look as if he needs a little bit more strength.
Thank you both. No getting away from it, though. Eastman paying heavily for the years of inactivity in his career. Next up, another man who has spent too long on the sidelines. It's Leo O'Reilly at lightweight against Gary Reid. The excitement is building already. A week on Sunday, early hours of June the 4th, and it's live for you. Diego Corrales against Jose Luis Castillo, the 3rd meeting, this for the WBC World Lightweight title. Live, 2 a.m. early that Sunday morning on Sky Sports 1. Lightweight action here now too. This a young man trying to make up for lost time. Leo O'Reilly is the name, now building up momentum on a comeback which only started in January. Missed basically the better part of 3 years. Gary Reid, the opponent here, erratic, but plenty of ability when the mood takes him.
We've had some decent little undercard clashes this season, and the matchmaker might just have unearthed a good blend here. Leo O'Reilly, a touch of talent about him. Expectations are plenty, and little Gary Reid, he's fit, he's a body puncher, and he's a dangerous journeyman who can upset the odds. Should be interesting, Jim.
Yeah, it should be. There are several fighters in the game today who are a lot better than the record suggests, and Gary Reid is one of those fighters. He's certainly much more dangerous than his record suggests. This could be a little cracker.
Ready a left hook to test O'Reilly's body. Out for a long time, O'Reilly, before coming back this year. So Reid will want to really put the pressure on the man who calls himself the Lion from Bexley Heath.
I mean, that's a vicious looking left hook to the body, and just an overhand right as well. Just knocked Reilly off balance, didn't hurt him, but already you can see the danger this man poses.
He's on good form too, won his last couple, Reid. And he's coming off a 6th round stoppage over Kevin McIntyre, former British welterweight title challenger. So O'Reilly looks to have a fight on his hands.
He just seemed to go into a little shell for about 15 seconds or so there. I wonder maybe if feeling the power of those shots in his arms there, thinking, here, I could have some problems here, but a bit more confidence in his work now.
Another one landed though from Reid. Fast start is normally what we get from the man from Wolverhampton. Can be deterred later on, but a great right hand and a glove touchdown.
That's a knockdown, yes. Glove touch.
Right hand touchdown of Leo O'Reilly. Ken Curtis quite rightly administers the count. And there's the danger.
Well, Reilly had to look as a man who thought something might go wrong, and it did, and it's gone wrong again. That's another knockdown.
Down again. Second time. Dramatic opener here. O'Reilly has 20 seconds to get through this first session. He was straight up on his feet, but he's been down twice, and he's in desperate, desperate trouble here.
Well, his confidence was severely dented even before the big punches landed, but full credit to him, he's gritting his teeth and trying to fire back in here.
Oh, another beautiful right hand. He's down again. Bell comes in. Ken Curtis doesn't count him this time, but he did twice, and that was a disastrous start for Leo O'Reilly.
And that actually was another knockdown. We'll call it 10-7, but I think if the bell hadn't sounded, that would have been the third knockdown. Big trouble here. Every time that right hand lands, he's in trouble.
Look, a nice tight hand, right? A little bit out of the range.
I mean, I have to give O'Reilly some credit. I mean, you can see every time it lands clear. I mean, you can see the power in the shots. Even before the punches started to find the target, you could see the power. And O'Reilly at this stage had a look of someone who thought things were going to go wrong, and they did. And he covered quickly. Certainly nothing wrong with his chin, because these are powerful shots, and he's still in this.
And he was lucky to get away with this one as well.
Yeah, well, that was a knockdown just on the bell. So that would have made it a disastrous 10-6 round, but 10-7 is the way I've scored it.
Well, well, well. Second of 8 scheduled in the lightweight division. And Gary Reid, who scored 2 knockdowns, should have been 3 in the first round. Can Leo O'Reilly come back from that? He's shown heart and resilience to even still be in this.
I think it's also been impressive the way Reid hasn't wasted any punches. He just took his time, scored the knockdowns. He's been picked off here at long range. But walking through that jab, getting that right hand home again.
Yep, it's that short right hand that is coming over the top of the left of O'Reilly, who battles back with body shots of his own. Some comeback if he can get through this.
It's actually quite clever what Reid's doing. He's quite prepared to take the jab, takes it, and then just comes straight back with the right hand over the top of that jab. He doesn't even bother about slipping the jab. Even if it lands, then it goes again. He's not even worried about slipping the jab. Even if it lands, he's still able to come back with that right hand.
O'Reilly has lost once before to Alan Temple, but that right
hand... It was a shaker again. That was a shaker.
It's just punch after punch landing in the same spot. And again, he cannot get out of the way of it. And this time, Ken Curtis looks closely, and O'Reilly down. Third time in the fight, legitimately. And this time it was heavy. Is there anything left, Jim?
I don't think so. I mean, he still looks as though he fancies the job. Full credit to him. But every time he's caught, clearly he's just come back with a good shot of his own. And that's what he badly needs. He needs to find the power to discourage Reid.
He came back and caught the Wolverhampton 33-year-old. But once again, it's like a broken record, that right hand.
You know, Adam, if this was a world title fight and we were looking at that right hand landing so regularly and so cleanly, you'd be singing this guy's praises. I mean, there's a lot of technique there. Taking the jab out, coming right back over the top with a beautiful right hand. It's worked perfectly almost every time. There it is again.
Goes to the body, another right hand. Again, Ken Curtis looks closely, and this time he's going to wave it off. It's a big, big win for Gary Reid. Only his 12th in 28 fights, and Leo O'Reilly was blown away by a series of right hands.
Well, as I say, we're just looking at a little 8 round at York Hall, but I tell you, you won't find punches delivered any better than that. It was clever, it's been well practiced in the gym, as I say, quite prepared to take the jab and bang that straight right over the top every time it landed. Had Reilly in all sorts of trouble. Full credit to Reilly for hanging in there. But what an excellent performance, nice to see from Gary Reid.
No one has ever done that to Leo O'Reilly. Why on earth has Gary Reid got the sort of record he has? He's lost 15 times, Jim.
Well, I said as soon as the match started, I said there's a lot of guys in the game whose records were a lot better than the records. Well, Gary Reid has proved that tonight. Maybe it doesn't always have plans, but see the way he lets the jab come, whether he slips it, whether it lands, he's right back with that beautifully placed right hand, and every time it landed, that was the result. Well, I mean, look at the technique there. As I say, if we were in Las Vegas and this was a world title fight, you'd be raving about the way these punches have been delivered. They're beautiful punches, first class. And digging into the body as well, looking for the target, nothing wild about it, everything controlled. He hurt O'Reilly every time he landed, but he never rushed his work, just kept it nice and cool, and there you go. I mean, good body shot, which just seemed to sap everything away from O'Reilly. Full credit to the way O'Reilly tried to stick with the task, but it was a lost cause by this stage. Still picking them nicely, nothing wild, nothing rushed. He knows he has the power to get the job done. Just taking his time and picking them cleanly. And I think the referee had seen enough, timed it nicely.
Well, we thought this might be a good clash of styles, but Gary Reid did not let Leo O'Reilly into it at all.
No, just the sheer power. I mean, even before the punches started to find the target, you can see the danger in the shots. Not surprised. Excellent performance.
That wasn't meant to happen. Or was it always likely?
Well, it was always a danger, wasn't it? You know, it was only just over 2 weeks ago that he stopped performing for his title challenger, Kevin Anderson.
McIntyre.
Kevin McIntyre, I'm sorry. And, you know, that was always on the cards. And it's Leo O'Reilly was the favourite there. You know, problem for Gary Reid, he's not going to get any work now. You know,
Gary
nobody wants to box him.
He'll always stop somebody that stands in front of him and tries and trade with him unless they've got a big punch. And O'Reilly didn't have the punch to back him up, to hurt him early and to get in the fight. So it was just plain sailing, and he let the shots go, and he looked very good getting the stoppage, didn't he?
Did one also sense finally, Glenn, you know, good pro, not so good pro, judged on the record. It's a great lesson for everybody.
It looked like, even though he hasn't got the ability, he looks like he lives the life where it looks like O'Reilly doesn't.
Thank you both for being with us tonight, Glenn and Nicky. Wonderful week of boxing coming up. We're back here next Tuesday. It all starts with Martin Power and Isaac Ward for the British Bantamweight title. That's Tuesday night next at 10, Sky Sports 1. And then next Thursday night, young Muttley, British welterweight champion, and Kevin Anderson, the Commonwealth welter champion. They meet in a dual title showdown in Birmingham. That's Thursday night next at 8 on Sky Sports 1. That's 8 o'clock. And finally, on to the early hours of Sunday week, June the 4th, and the big one, Diego Corrales and Jose Luis Castillo, the third meeting for the WBC World Lightweight title. It's live from 2 a.m. on Sky Sports 1. It's going to be a fantastic week. And it started very nicely here tonight, especially for Carl Froch, who has made all his critics sit up and take notice. From us all, bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the green corner.